Here we go. This is it. This is one of my favorite missions in the entire franchise. It has a ton to offer and delivers one of, if not the most versatile experiences in the game. I'm Simply5, this is another Halo 3 video, and today we'll be talking about the third mission of the game, Tsavo Highway. We'll go over Easter eggs, tips and tricks, and a general appreciation for the level as a whole. Let's get into it. Moments after the end of Crow's Nest, you wake up in the bottom of the elevator shaft. Here you group up with surviving Marines in a motor pool and set out to engage the Covenant and link back up with the UNSC. The base of the elevator shaft sets the mood perfectly, and the injured Marines and power slowly coming back on signal that this is just the beginning.
I've got a broken rib.
Think the brutes know where we are?
No, then I gotta keep pressure on the wound.
The injured Marines and the power slowly coming back on signal that just because we got out of the last level doesn't mean the fight is over, not even close. There's tons of detail in these caves, and the level in general. Initially, your only goal is to make contact with the rest of the UNSC. You're not moving to any specific objective because the radio keeps going out before you can receive any orders.
What's our situation, Sergeant?
Not sure. Can't reach the commander. Too far underground. Let's mount up. Get the hell out of these caves.
Let's go!
You tear through the dark caves with your Marines, evoking some not a natural formation vibes. As you leave the cave, make sure to veer off the beaten path, otherwise you'll miss this great view and semi-hidden audio file that plays while you survey the landscape.
Lost space.
The collapse when the city got glass.
But the tether is thousands of kilometers high.
Yeah, well now it's scattered all over the savannah.
Tsavo Highway feels, in many ways, like a spiritual successor to Halo 1's second mission, Halo. While it may not have quite the same vibe of stepping onto an alien ring world, when you first exit the tunnel and see the landscape covered in the scattered remains of the Mombasa space elevator from Halos 2 and ODST, it still generates a sense of awe. This mission may do the best of any of its peers in terms of exploration and openness. Also, depending on your preference, there's a troop hog off to the side that you could swap to, you know, if you want to. Continuing through the mission, beware of jackal snipers and plasma turrets. Cool note about the crashed Phantoms is that if you take a listen, you'll get to hear some hidden audio cues from other Covenant pilots, and if you give it some extra time, you'll get some sweet jams too. Once you reach this next arena, I'd recommend parking your hogs somewhere safe, taking the fight on foot until the enemies are sufficiently thinned out. They'll tear you to pieces on Legendary if you don't play your cards right, and it's not hard to wind up surrounded if you go the wrong way.
I repeat, my convoy's been hit. I've got wounded. We're on the Tsavo Highway about east of Boy.
Passing into the next encounter, feel free to try and jack one of the choppers right off the bat. They won't go down easy on higher difficulties though, so watch out. It's impressive how much this level blends vehicle and on-foot combat. This isn't your usual driving mission, but it definitely isn't your usual on-foot mission either. This is peak Halo. Careful not to get caught off guard by the buggers as you wrap up your initial enemies. Again, the detail in this mission is astounding. There are cables from the collapsed space elevator swaying in different parts of the map, and they react to you if you touch them, even playing this ominous, deep swaying noise. Beyond that, there are these little bits of environmental storytelling and hidden equipment. Here's a dead Marine with a plasma rifle laying outside. Presumably, he died fighting a pack of elites before they left the Covenant. As you pass through the tunnel and exit on the other side, you get a truly astounding sight. But seriously, this is such a cool moment and gets your heart pumping. Rounding the corner, you see the storm surrounding the mysterious Forerunner ship. This was the moment built up in practically all of the marketing for Halo 3. Even the game's original main menu appeared to be based off of this level. But don't get too carried away, because you might just miss the only skull in this level. As soon as you exit that tunnel, turn to your left, and with a bit of jumping, you'll find our little guy right here. Back to the highway. We're done with the highway. Well, if you're a scrub, that is. If you have some mad skills, or a grav lift from the last arena, you can keep driving. Heading through the gate, we come to, I think, my favorite part of the mission. You get this small patrol right in front, and after that there's scattered forces assaulting a building with Marines holding out inside. This may be the best laid out encounter in the game because it takes such good advantage of Halo 3's open approach to gameplay. You can circle back around and up onto the checkpoint gate, grabbing a conveniently placed sniper and begin thinning out the herd from up high. You can snake through these pipes, popping grunts with headshots before tackling the brutes. You can push up the hill behind these structures and join the Marines in their hideout. This encounter is a ton of fun and gives you so many ways to play it. Hold out against a few waves, and while you're at it, consider arming your Marines with scavenged weapons. You know, if you're a loser, that is. Then suddenly, from around the corner, a Wraith shows up. This is its first appearance in the game, and it's such a great way to cap off this encounter. If you want, you could carefully remove the driver and claim his vehicle as your own. And you might need it, because being one of the most deadly weapons in the game, it will help you out tremendously as you come towards the end of the mission. At the bottom of this ramp, you'll find two brutes. Pop them quick, and you'll find they were hiding some fuel rods. I wonder what you could use those for. I lied to you, and I'm not sorry. I mean, you fell for it, so that's not my problem, but let me help you anyway. The Wraith? Not the strongest vehicle. Arming your Marines? Not dumb. Troop Warthog? Yeah, it slaps. Look at this. I mean, just look at this. I'm practically indestructible. From here, you just win. No question about it. Choppers? Gone. Turrets? Gone. Wraiths? Do you even have to ask? The Troop Warthog is and always will be the best strategy in Halo, and if you don't agree, that's okay. I respect you as a human being, with your own unique feelings and beliefs. We're nearing the end of the mission, and from here on out, it's pretty much just constant fighting. Starting in this donut-shaped arena, we have several enemy Wraiths, choppers, and turrets, and this level is super open, so you can really choose your own path and order to take on these threats. Again, fantastically freeing. Moving up the road, there's a Covenant checkpoint, and this is pretty easy to deal with, but getting a Wraith past all the barricades is kinda awkward. Cresting the hill, we reach our final destination. I recommend taking out the turret before heading down, but you gotta bring some good firepower to make this fight easy. There's no shortage of enemies here, and you'll need to be careful about how you move up and into the fray. You know, I think it's time I bring something up I've been leaving out. Usually I try to talk about possible speedrunning shortcuts as we go through the level, but I haven't said a word so far, and I promise I have a good reason. You see, while a lot of levels in Halo 3 use special skips and jumps and paths to pass certain areas easily, Tsavo Highway, you just kinda drive? Like, you see the enemies, and you go around them. And that's about it. Speedrunning this level is like 30% knowing the right route and 70% RNG due to the enemy placement and accuracy. There is this one thing where you stop at this building right before you go through that first shield door and you pick up a grav lift through a wall, using it like I showed earlier to carry your vehicle through. So, yeah. Tsavo Highway has some of the best level design in this game. It's always a joy to visit, whether you finish in 3 minutes or 20. This level struck a balance of engaging gameplay and openness that I don't think any level in any of the Halos has really nailed since. The art in the background of the Covenant ships excavating around the Arc portal is stunning. I could, and have, spent minutes on end just looking out over the damaged landscapes and swirling vistas. Tsavo is the quintessential Halo 3 level. It captures so much of what makes the Halo series unique and is practically the poster boy for the marketing of this game. The encounters, the art, the atmosphere are all so close to perfection you can almost taste it. If you're like me and just wishing there was more content available to Halo players right now, try booting up Tsavo Highway and play it in a new way. You might just find new appreciation for this 15-year-old game.